So the question is, out of all this, how do we make all this stuff happen and so on? And maybe we'll show a couple of rules. Can technology help? You know, automated highways, 1939 World's Fair, GM, boom, they were going to do it, okay? And in a sense, we had an idea in the 50s and so on, and we thought that at one time it was going to be like this. Ooh. Well, it was in the 50s. Wasn't it wonderful that they were stuck in traffic? And they sang in the car. I mean, how many times you go out with the family singing in the car?
304.
Can you imagine building an automated highway for one vehicle? I mean, Cal DOT is not going to do it. We did a demo of this stuff on I-5 and followed magnets, and we did this in 1997. And basically, I think the Waterloo of this thing was that we tried to do a system. In some sense, if you really try to organize everybody, hey, we can either be Marxist or we can be capitalist. Okay, one has the whole thing organized for us. I'm a great Marxist. I love it. I think, you know, whatever. But in some sense, whatever, I don't know, may not have worked. We did automated people movers. Great pants, aren't they? Those are great pants. Where'd the hair come from? Actually, it was 50 years ago. 50 years ago, Westinghouse Skybus in Pittsburgh. Okay, it was a test track out there. We built them at airports. Tampa was the first one. We built BART. It's automated. Still, there's somebody out there in front. Why are they there? Never mind. You know, we have them in our airports. They all work really well. The problem with them is that they tend to be, you know, just a few stops. They're only what, 30 stops on the whole BART system or something like that, or whatever. I mean, with all the space and all the various origin destination pairs that have to be served on a daily basis, it doesn't, I mean, there's nobody within walking distance and walking distance. It has a real, that's why it doesn't carry anybody. It really, what, 3% of the trips in the Bay Area. Then there was personal rapid transit that came out. We were going to do, hey, this was 1975 at Morgantown. The same pants. Where in the hell did he get those pants? That's Henry Posner III. He owns railroads around the world, and whatever. And this is Orly Airport, and we have them at Heathrow, and there's some of them that go on. The problem may have been that we tried to make it personal as opposed to shared. Most of the time, there's nobody that wants to go from where you want to go to where you want to go at the time you want to go, and you'll get it personal. But whenever there is the opportunity, we should take advantage of it. And guess what? When there's all the congestion, the probability that somebody else is going to want to go with you or can go with you is a heck of a lot higher. And again, that's how we get rid of the congestion, is to take half or 2 out of 3 cars the heck off the road and still get the mobility that we all want. Still get to go from where we are to where we want to go at about the time that we want to go. We still are mobile. We still enjoy the quality of life that gives us. We tried. The government now wants to do connected vehicles. They want to have all the vehicles talk to each other. Again, that is only good if the probability that I have it and the probability that you have it is sufficiently large such that we can talk to each other. That only gets as good as a coin flip if we get to a 70% penetration rate or greater, because 0.7 times 0.7 is 0.49. And if you're down at 0.25 times 0.25, you're essentially at 0. Or at 0.1 times 0.1, you don't get any value. So until you get enough of this, again, the evolutionary path that is required for all this is really challenging if we're going to communicate it all. So in a sense, this is how we end up to really be saying that, hey, maybe we should just be focusing on the vehicle, which we started to do with the DARPA Grand Challenges in 2004. In 2005, this was the Princeton vehicle for which my students and I went out there and competed in the desert. We did really well, and of course the autonomous vehicle had to do part of the celebration, and we had to give a little bit of champagne in celebration. As you can see, we had to fill it up, and you know, that's where the Google stuff comes from. And some of you may already own cars that really are, yeah, how many own a Tesla that got turned on? Anybody here own a Tesla that got turned on with autopilot? I thought everybody in the valley, I thought everybody here, in Jersey, we hear that everybody in California is driving Teslas. That's not true. I mean, that's what we heard. Anyway, but in a sense, or if in the Mercedes, even the S-Class, even the C-Class now, and has intelligent cruise control, has lane centering, which doesn't work, and all those things. And so some of this, it doesn't. I mean, I own one, so I know, but whatever. It almost works, and Google's out there, and basically, they only took 50 people, something like, $15 million a year, put them in a garage, and did this. I mean, rounding error on their balance sheet. The beauty of this is that you could actually go into a garage and get this stuff to work, and get it to work on just one car or a handful of cars, and then do this replication bit, because we know what it costs to replicate this stuff. So in a sense, get the darn stuff to work so that, in fact, it could cohabitate with us. It could go out there and share the road. Google doesn't really ask permission. They just go out there, right? And they're sharing. And in fact, to put it out there, not as an ownership thing that we're going to own, but in fact, it's going to come like the elevator analogy that I tried to point out, that in fact allows us to share this thing and to move on. What does this do to then the kind of environment that you build around it, the kind of community you build around here, so that now, Shannon, you want to talk about no need of parking and all that stuff, because now it can just go and do it. So.